everybody, it's Dana with Empower RV.
And Brenda with Queen Bee RV, and this week we're coming to you from the National RV Training Academy in Athens, Texas, where Dana and I got our certifications. And we wanted to bring you another episode of 52 Ways to Empower Women RVers. This week we're going to cover the most requested class that we have at our 52 Ways workshop, and that is the Life Safety Essentials class. So Dana, why do the women love this thing so much?
I really believe it's because they leave feeling completely empowered. They're excited to know that they have a knowledge base of what to look for in their campers, to find things that might be out of date, to find low voltage sources for powering things like the LP detector. It just gives them a sense of peace and security when they're in their campers, and they know they've checked expiration dates, they've checked to make sure everything that they can do on their end is working properly.
Exactly. And you mentioned the detectors, and that's the first thing that we want to start with. We've had women that did not realize how these detectors are powered. They're super important when operating the propane system. So let's start with the smoke detector, and I'm kind of pointing where Dana's is located in her kitchen area. That smoke detector is super important. It is operated by a 9-volt battery. We're going to talk about expiration dates. All of these detectors do end up expiring, whether the battery voltage is current and able to activate or test the detector, they can still expire. So this one is usually near an entry door. You might have another one in the bedroom, 9-volt battery. Mm-hmm. And I'm pointing now at her LP and CO, carbon monoxide detector. She has a combo. So LP is detecting for propane if you have a propane leak, and then CO is detecting if there's carbon monoxide, which anytime we're using propane and there's combustion, it could be like when you're cooking, it could be creating carbon monoxide. Hers is located near the kitchen down low, and there's a reason that we explain in the class why it's down low. It is hardwired. The LP detector must be hardwired, and that is operating off your 12-volt DC coach battery. So it's super important that that thing is charged. If it's ever going off and it's bugging you, like my husband made a little boo-boo, and cut the wires on that. If it's annoying, there's a reason. So which brings me to the next part. If the detectors, any of them go off, what do you do? Why would they go off? If the LP goes off, it detects propane. The detector might be nearing the end of its life, or it doesn't have proper charge. So if one of them goes off, get out.
There's a reason.
Right,
Definite
there is a reason. And we go over all the steps of how you can check things and what to do. So you can test any of these by just simply pushing the test button on them. And then lastly, they expire. Every 5 to 7 years, we say err on the side of caution, replace these things completely like a brand new one, not just the battery, at the 5-year mark. One more thing about the fire extinguisher. Do you want to go over how that can help?
So we have a couple of options in travel trailers and Class C's and Class A's, different options for fire extinguishers. This one happens to be mine. These are located by the exit door, usually up at the front of the coach by the exit door. You always want to make sure you're double checking the charges on your fire extinguishers. If you have a white one for a smaller travel trailer, you'll have a little green button at the top. You'll want to make sure you press that and that it releases instantly so that you have a good pressure inside the fire extinguisher. And again, these do expire eventually. You want to watch that charge, make sure it's always up nice and high so that if you ever need it, you know where it is and that it's going to work properly.
I also thought about, I don't know that I've ever operated a fire extinguisher. You might make sure that you
understand how it works.
Yeah.
That's so important as well.
Hold the pin.
Yeah. This one is actually a little mini fire extinguisher because I have this at the front of the camper. I have one of these, and you can purchase these online or at any camping store. And I've just added a little Velcro strip to the back. And this is a mini fire extinguisher in case I get caught back in the bedroom area and cannot get to this. Because you'll notice that my cooktop is in front of where my fire extinguisher is. So if I'm in the back, I want to make sure I have something that I know I can grab in an emergency.
Got it. I have never seen one of those before, so I'm so happy that you introduced that. So now let's talk about if you did have to eject. So if there were something blocking Dana from getting out her exit door, she does have an emergency exit window in the bedroom. And the big thing that we want to point out to all of you ladies out there is that you need to practice with that thing. A lot of times people have never opened their windows, like all the windows, much less the emergency exit window, and it can get stuck. It is really difficult. And if you're in a panic and you need that thing to work, you better check it right now. So you need to have all of the seals around all of your windows,
Right.
especially the emergency exit window, lubricated. So check those periodically
A lot
and
of
make
times
sure.
people think they can't use their fire extinguisher or their fire emergency exit. They think that that is specifically for one-time use, but actually these are designed to be used regularly. And just like everything we say, you either use it or you lose it. If you haven't practiced with it, then you're going to be in a bind when you really need it.
I agree. So find yours and test it. Okay. And then now you're talking about roadside safety.
One last thing that we touch on in our life safety essentials course is roadside safety, because this can become a life-altering event if you have an emergency on the side of the road. One of the things we talk about is cones. These are wonderful little collapsible cones purchased online. They are easy to store and easy to set up. So I keep usually 2 or 3 of these in the camper, maybe a couple in the truck, because you want to make sure that you alert the people that are driving around you that you have a problem. So these are great. The other thing that we talk about is having some sort of emergency flasher. If you're out on a road at night, particularly in a dark area, not much street light, you want to make sure that you're alerting the traffic behind you and around the side of the camper and the truck. So these are magnetic. I won't turn it on because it's pretty extreme, but they have the SOS. They have a flashlight built in. There's a hook.
Red lights.
They're red light. They will illuminate you wonderfully for anybody that needs to be looking for you or avoiding you on the side of the road. So we actually keep these in all of our just personal vehicles because I think they're so important. Our kids have them. They come in a pack of 3 and they're just a great item to keep in the camper and in your tow vehicle as well.
I love it. We hope that you found this content helpful. And if you do like it, will you give us a like and comment below? Please be sure to follow us on our social media channels. The links will be below as well. And we'll see you next week on another episode.